Welcome to the third episode of Like You Didn't Know. This week's scary movie of the week is Bad Hair. It's basically about this black woman with naturally curly, probably 4C hair. And she had a very traumatic experience as a child getting a relaxer done by, I think it was her sister. And she got burnt really badly to the point where she had a permanent scar. And the hair never grew back. But basically she gets older, she has a job, and she's working with a lot of black women with different, really all of them have different hair textures, but they all kind of have similar styles, either braids or weave. So I don't know why she didn't get braids, but for whatever reason, she decides to get some weave, and it was all bad from there. It's a horror movie, but I found it funny. My friends did not think it was funny. I guess it could be kind of demonic, but, those are my favorite type of horror movies. But basically, her weave comes alive and starts killing people. If you like cheesy horror movies, I definitely recommend this one. I've watched it at least 2 or 3 times, just for shits and giggles. This week's Ridiculous Lawsuits features a Pennsylvania graduate school student that sued her teacher over a C+ grade. Apparently, her name was Megan Thode. Apparently, she wasn't very happy that she got a C+ grade in school, and so it would have cost her an estimated $1.3 million in lost earnings. It doesn't really say what she was majoring in, but it must have been something pretty substantial. It must have been something pretty we'd make pretty good money if she felt like she was going to lose that much money in lost earnings. Obviously, I'm pretty sure she didn't win, but in my opinion, for some of the classes that I had, a C was just fine, because I knew there was no way that I could pass those classes. It doesn't say what class she was taking, but I'm like, if it was that hard, drop it and get some tutoring and take it again next year. But she decided to waste even more money suing, so whatever. This week's Bizarre Ways to Die features a man who was killed by his own explosive while trying to steal condoms from, I guess they were locked up behind some glass. I'm not sure why he thought using an explosive was the best way to get them. It doesn't say what type of explosive he used, but it must have been something pretty powerful to have caused him to die. I guess he was really intent on practicing safe sex and or not having children, because he felt like he just really needed these condoms and he was going to get them no matter what. In my opinion, you could have just robbed the store and bought the condoms, but hey, it's too late now, because now he doesn't have to worry about safe sex or babies, because he's dead. Last week, I talked about how to properly brush your teeth. This week, I wanted to talk about how to properly wash. Because, yes, some people obviously do not know. I don't know if anybody else has seen, but apparently there's this big thing about people, for one, not using loofahs or washcloths when they wash. For two, not washing their legs, thinking shaving is sufficient to clean your legs or your armpits. Some people only wash the important areas, which I guess is their armpits and their private parts. But apparently people don't know how to properly take a shower, or a bath. So this article is it's a Cheddar News article, but they interviewed Dr. Jen Caudell, and she made mention that people often neglect their belly button, behind their ears, underneath their fingernails, between their toes, and their legs, as I just mentioned. And she says you can get infections in your belly button by not washing it. How you don't get your belly button, I have no idea. But I guess if you're just washing your armpits and your your genitals, I guess you would kind of miss your belly button. It's beyond me how grown adults do not know how to properly take showers, but in these days, nothing really surprises me. So when you wash, make sure that you, especially your fingernails, even when you just wash your hands, you should definitely make sure that you are washing your under your fingernails so that you don't transfer germs onto any food or whatever you may start touching. Not only does it keep you from getting sick, but it keeps you from getting other people sick too. I mean, hand sanitizer is great, but if you can, even if you're sitting at home, it's best to just use some soap and water.